The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Chairman Ola Olukoyede has emphasized that the fight against corruption in Nigeria is a serious endeavor. To tackle corruption effectively, he is prioritizing prevention mechanisms, focusing on enlightenment campaign and also institutional structures to curb corrupt practices even before they occur. However, the Commission has been surrounded by controversy over the years, particularly regarding its operational methods. Recently on this program, Salaudeen Ayobamidele was here, an alleged victim of unfair treatment by the Commission, who came and told us his story with the aim of getting justice. Now, to respond to these allegations and talk about their effort against corruption, joining me now is Mr. Dele Oyewale. He is the head of Media and Publicity for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you for having me on the program.
All right. Before we get into the crux of the conversation, I would just like to play back excerpts of that interview we had with Salaudeen on this program, so that we can pick up our conversation from there. So please take a listen.
Firstly, this guy told them that he met me on one Telegram. And when they realized that it's not on Telegram, he met me on Paxful. And the Paxful is not on the petition. When they realized they should, this case is not what we expect, and let me go. You have to detain me and make me pay the money under duress.
They made you pay the money
under duress.
to the person under duress?
To the EFCC. Yes, I don't know that duress.
Yes. How much did you pay to the EFCC?
2.9 million.
2.9 million.
I wasn't there. I was locked up.
Okay.
And they told my brother that if I didn't pay this money, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going.
It's quite unfortunate that we're where we are today, because the EFCC leadership failed us in totality. I've had cause to approach the helm of EFCC in Lagos here under the leadership of Michael Wetkas. And when I met him over this issue, he was shocked to the extent that I had to make revelations to him on how, firstly, I was able to retrieve the 350,000 Naira bill. This is the money that was transferred, and this is the one which was used in returning the money. And how was it returned?
You transferred the money and then they returned it?
Yes.
Why did they return the money? Why did they ask for the money?
Yeah, the bail money, the 350 was bail money that they collected from his family members. All right, so when they told me, I had to place a call to the operative from Mr. Peter, and I made him understand that, look, what you're doing is wrong, and he pleaded with me. And I said, the only thing you will do for me is to return the bail money. And in less than 48 hours, that money was returned. And it was returned
to the EFCC office.
Lagos office. They claim that the case is reported in Gombe. And how they treated him was that they told him that it's either he complies with them in Lagos or they take it to Gombe. So this bail money was paid in and I retrieved it back. I have all these evidences. Secondly, in the petition, they allege him for 5 million, but when they allege him verbally 5 million. Then when he got there, the petition that was read to him was 2.6 million. But shockingly, he was made to pay into EFCC sum of 2.9 million. This is 1.3 and this is 1.6, making 2.9. So a lot of things was wrong, which was brought before the leadership of EFCC, and the man there, Wetcast, had to set up a committee of wise operatives who interrogated the whole thing, and they came with the conclusion that, look, he shouldn't have made any payment in the first instance to anybody, because he did a genuine business and the deal was sealed. So how could somebody come after 2 years and say a sealed deal he has been duped again?
Of course, we just gave an excerpt of that interview that we had here, and that video actually did, go viral. And I'm really glad that you are here to actually not just talk on this, but even the operations of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the efforts it's making at curbing corruption in the country. Once again, thank you for your time. Mr. Dele Oyewale. Now, quickly, let me just get straight to it. On this case, let me first ask, the issues around bill, as someone invited by the commission, what is the commission stand on issues of bill, and how does this process itself work?
Let me quickly establish the fact that as far as the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is concerned, the issue of bail is free. Bail is free. Whoever has asked you to pay for bail is as guilty as whoever is paying for bail. Because ignorance is not an excuse in law. We know that in law enforcement, you don't pay for bail. And if you have any grounds, any issue to settle on this issue, we have our public complaint unit in all our zonal offices. And Nigerians need to appreciate the fact that the leadership of Mr. Ola Olukoyede is a very serious, very passionate, and very focused leadership as far as the fight against corruption is concerned. I mean, it's public knowledge that last year, 27 officers of the commission, they were dismissed for various forms of offenses, misconduct, and all of that. So this is a leadership that does not tolerate corruption, that has very zero tolerance for corruption. If you have an issue, somebody asking you to pay for bail, come to our office. We have a lot of modalities, a lot of frameworks in place where you can seek redress, where you can make your complaint. We will look at it. If it is genuine, we will act on it. So coming to a national television to say that somebody asked you to pay for bail and you pay for bail, you are as guilty as the fellow that asked you to pay for bail.
Sorry.
And the commission is already working on that. We are investigating it. And if the officer is found to be culpable, we have our appropriate disciplinary measures and a framework in place to deal with such issues. So there is, I don't see anything. I listened to what he said. He was talking about the leadership of the commission. He was alleging a lot of things that are not right, that are not true, that are not correct, they are not factual. We know it. Everybody knows it. The present leadership of the
that you feel is not correct.
The present leadership of Hello?
You said he was alleging some things that are not right or factual. Can you please, highlight some of those things he said that you feel it's not correct or accurate?
Now, on the issue of that transaction, you see, the commission, we work strictly and basically on matters that are brought before us. Now, it was a business gone awry between the two of them. One of the party petitioned us. He placed his files on the ground. We investigated the matter. He was arrested. Now, on the basis of that arrest, all of the files, they were laid bare before him. This business between this party and this party, this is what happened, this is what happened, you have to return this money. And he returned the money not into an individual's account, into the commission recovery account. It's not, I mean, the way he presented it as if he was asked to return the money into an officer's account or into a dubious account. No, it was a recovery account. And investigation on this matter still continues. It is not on the pages of newspaper or national television that you resolve the issue of investigation. There are a lot of fundamental issues that are involved. So it is not enough for anybody to come here and say, somebody has done this, somebody has done that. What are the facts? And we work on the basis of facts. So the investigation on this matter still continues. I concede the fact that he has a right, to vent his anger, to seek redress, to bear his mind on any issue that he feels that it's not too good as far as his consideration is concerned. But we must not also forget the fact that facts are sacred. Facts are fundamental. I mean, and in any issue, we must establish the genuine, the authenticity of all the facts that are involved. So we are not going to be blackmailed by anyone coming on national television to allege this, to allege that. We are focused and we are going to continue our work.
Mr. Oyewale, I'm glad you said something. You said the investigation still continues on this. I also would like to also let you know that according to him, he said that he had made several efforts, or his team had made several efforts at contacting the leadership of the commission, all to no avail, and they were left with no choice but to come to the media. So that is why the case got to the media. So just to put that out there.
I see. No. Now listen to me, my brother. If indeed he has made effort to contact the leadership of the commission, let him mention who and who he contacted, at what time, where
Messages.
they were contacted. We run an open door.
According to him, he claims he has call logs, attempted calls, and even messages, to the leadership with no response. But we'll come to that. Let's go on a quick break. Once we return, we'll broaden this conversation to look beyond just this case, but generally the operations of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission as it affects corruption and other issues. Do stay with us. We'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on News Central Television, and of course I still have my guest with me, Mr. Dele Oyewale. He is the head of Media and Publicity of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Thank you for your time, sir, and thank you for staying with me. Now let's broaden this conversation to address, will I call it, maybe some misconceptions, about the commission, and that is the misconception of double standard. For some Nigerians, they feel that the kind of treatment, maybe certain individuals who are invited for questioning or have case with the EFCC, the way they are handled is different from maybe when it involves some other kind of individual. So, what's your response to the issue or the talk about double standard when it comes to addressing cases?
You see, there is nothing like that. We have our standard operating procedure, and the procedures offers equal opportunity, equal privileges, equal treatment to suspects. On what basis are we going to be operating double standard? On the basis of what? If a suspect is arrested, we know the procedure, bail conditions will be offered to the suspect, and if the suspect fulfills the bail conditions, then it will be released. So there is nothing like double standard. There are things, they are just insinuations that people are making, that cannot be justified. Let me tell you, when the leadership of Mr. Ola Olukoyede came on stream, he refused the bail and arrest procedure. And the position of the leadership of the EFCC today is that as long as a suspect if it is so certain that the suspect will be available for trial for whatever thing that we need, there is no need to hold a suspect in custody for 24 hours, for 48 hours, no, there is nothing like that. Many times, if a suspect is invited for interrogation or for whatever, if they are done with the investigation, the suspect returns the same day. So there is nothing like a double standard, unequal standard, and all of that. They are not true. Honestly, they are not true. Because those that are familiar with our operations, they know that if a suspect is arrested, the next thing the arresting officer would do is to bring out the bail conditions. And the moment you fulfill the bail condition, you are allowed to go. So there is nothing like a double standard or whatever that you have. You are a journalist. Do your independent investigation.
Part of the independent investigation is why we are, sorry, sir. Part of the independent investigation we did is why we're having this conversation and why we brought that young man, to the studio to talk, and that's why we are having this conversation with you, sir. But let's also talk about another pressing issue, which has been making the rounds, and that is the Naira. We Nigerians right now are becoming more aware as regards how to treat the Naira and all. But I would just like you maybe in 30 seconds to speak exactly what, in context, what it entails when we hear stuff like, deface the Naira, mutilate the Naira and all of that. Can you please just enlighten us in 30 seconds what it entails?
Now, there is a special task force against Naira abuse and dollarization of the economy. The CBN Act is very clear about it. The Naira is the symbol, it is strength of our economy, and it must not be abused in any form. Whether by spraying it, by stamping on it, by tearing it, by defacing it, any form of abuse. The CBN Act is against it, and the EFCC is enforcing the act. I'm sure you are aware that the Commission is as an anti-corruption agency in Nigeria, we have the power to enforce every extant law concerning economic and financial crime. The CBN Act in this respect is not an exemption, and we are enforcing it. I'm happy that you have considered the fact that we are seeing behavioral changes in the way we handle our national currency. It is to the credit of what we are doing. And we want Nigerians to continue in that way. We must respect our national currency. It is a symbol of our economy. And as long as we do whatever we like with our national currency, you know, it will have a kind of multiplier effect on the economy. So the leadership of this commission today is committed to using the instrumentality of the anti-corruption work to stimulate growth in the economy. And one of the ways of achieving that is to ensure that we pay premium respect to our national currency by not defacing it, by not abusing it, by not doing anything against it. You know, and of course the economy will be vibrant and it will be robust for all of us. That is what the commission is doing.
Okay, I mean, just as we're having this conversation, based on popular demand, people are saying that, you know what, this question needs to be asked since, of course, there's an opportunity to interact directly with the commission. And that's the case of VDM, which has, of course, taken, social media big time. Everyone seems to be talking about it. Just for confirmation, why was it picked up by the commission? Is it for cyberbullying and money laundering? Can you please enlighten Nigerians?
Now, I think we should appreciate the fact that the Economic and Financial Crime Commission has a right to initiate investigation into any petition that is raised against any Nigerian. Now, the issue of Martin Vincent Ose is not an exemption. It's like it's a suspect like any other suspect. Now, we have cause to invite him, to arrest him on the number of multiple petitions that are before the commission. And of course, we invited him, we interrogated him, we offered him bail conditions. When he met the bail conditions, we released him. And when his charges are ready, we will file the charges before the court, and he will be arraigned.
Okay, so for now, are you saying that there are no charges yet?
The charges, when we are ready to file the charges, there are processes and there are procedures.
So for now, for now, the talks about cyberbullying and money laundering is not true. Is that what you're saying?
You have to. Let's get to the river before we cross it now. By the time the charges are ready, they are filed before the court and it's arraigned. It will be a public document, and everybody will see it. And so there is no point preempting what is on ground. When we get to the river, we will cross it.
I mean, just to be sure, too, do you still have his phone with you? Does the commission still have his phone with them?
That should not be a matter to be discussed on national television. We have our operational ways of doing things.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll definitely keep tabs on this. It's been a pleasure having you, Mr. Dele Oyewale, the head of Media and Publicity for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
All right.